So what's next for WarpMind? We've on this journey kind of built out, customizable KPI homepage, uh, you know, full suite of reporting with Power BI, the ability to clone and edit your own reports, uh, build scalable SQL, dynamic reports where you can kind of select your own columns and fields in any order that you want, export that at scale. And then even some next gen engines, right, that are kind of highly targeted, for a focused wedge. And in this case, we worked with Stripe data, but it really could be any data, financial data, healthcare data, any types of other data sets. And so we can kind of see, now we have this, kind of full suite of analytics. Um, but in the age of, AI and AI agents, what else can we do? And so today I'd like to just kind of show you, kind of what we're working on next. So here we are in WarpMind on our home page, and let's go to the tenant admin section. And within that, we're going to go take a look at the data upload. And I'm just going to scroll down just a little bit here. Um, and we have a couple options now. So in the prior video, we saw, we could upload Stripe data, get the full suite of analytics. Um, but let's take a look now at this custom tenant mode, tenant model, spec driven, and see what we're going to do here. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And with this, we can upload any type of data. So let me show you an example of what we're going to do here. I've got this is just, made up financial data from Copilot, but, kind of serve our purpose here. And so what we're going to be looking to do is we've got this data and I want to kind of do some analytics and, understand it, visually. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. We're not going to save that. And so now we're back in WarpMind. So let's call this we can see we already have it saved there, finance. That's going to be our model name. And I already have a prompt saved. So let's just go to our saved prompt just for the interest of time. Let's go ahead and copy this. You can see I've got one for cash flow too. So let's copy this. We're going to swing back and paste that in. And what we're looking to do here is just kind of give the intent for the type of, dashboard and analysis we'd like to see on this data. And then what's next is we went a little too soon there. We're going to go ahead and click this choose file. And let's go ahead and pick our finance file, our CSV here, and go ahead and start the autonomous job. So let's go ahead and click that off. And I'm just going to scroll down here, and just so we can see it, I'm going to zoom out a little bit on the page here so that you guys can see that. Go a little bit more. And there we go. So we can see that we got the data loaded up. It was built out, reviewed, and published. So cool. We got our validation here, 42 rows of data. And let's go ahead and look at the model workspace. So this is just kind of a way where we can kind of load that model that we just created just to make sure that, everything went through. So let's go back and get us back to 100% here. Cool. So the model is loaded up. We can kind of see all the, stats for it. We can see that this is one that I had loaded before and then I purged it. So it just overwrote it with the new one and it's completed. And we're good to go. So where is this exactly? So let's swing back to our home page, go to our next gen engine, and then under that, we can see with our next gen analytics, we've got our, our Stripe engines from before, and this could be, like I said, other things. You can have finance, healthcare, different types of data in there. But now we've got custom. You can see there's a few custom reports I've already kind of been, playing around with. But let's go ahead and take a look at the one that we just created, finance, right? So this wasn't here before. So let's just go ahead and click on that. And now we can see that this dashboard was just created from that file that we uploaded. We can see that, something we'll add in the future, some insights kind of synthesizing the data. But we've got some deterministic highlights here kind of letting us know, hey, revenue was up across the board. East Legion, leads the way. No anomalies were flagged in the data. And these are just kind of, like I said, deterministic things that kind of looking at the data set. No AI or anything involved with those. We can then see, we've got our KPIs up top, we've got our trends over time, see performance by region and things like that. So what we've done here is we've leveraged, in this case, it was ChatGPT. When we had put in that prompt, it went through an LLM, like I said, in this case, ChatGPT, to kind of figure out, hey, what are we trying to do? Took that request and then synthesized it and then sent it back to us, and then we were able to then create that this dashboard on the fly. And what's nice about it is, this might not come back exactly the way that we had wanted. So, for example, let's say that you know, can we change the performance by region? Let's say we want that to be uh, to a horizontal instead of vertical. So we'll say horizontal bar chart. And then let's also say that we want to see, let's say we want to see, total customers. Can we also see, total customers by region? And then, yeah, let's just start with that for now and go ahead and apply that update. And so now, same thing. This is going to send this change to ChatGPT, and hey, there we go. Right in real time, we can now see that our dashboard has updated based on our request, and we've got our total customers by region. We can see that the dashboard was updated. So this is going to be really powerful. And for example, let's say that we just added that total customers by region, but don't really need it. Can we please remove the total customers by region? Or we could change the visual, like we saw before. But in this case, let's just show, hey, I don't actually need that visual. So let's go ahead and apply that. And that's going to go ahead, make that update. And there we go. It's gone. And so what's really nice about this is, if one, it works with any data set, right? In this case, I picked finance, but it could be any type of other data set where we can kind of load this up, look at some of the KPIs, some of the analytics, get some insights on that, and then start to make use of, AI and agentic workflows, throughout the application. So what's next for this is going to be things like, hey, if I've got my conformed data models and those KPI engines, and I'd like to change those or extend those or, modify those on the fly, just working with the AI. Those are things that are going to be next for this. And this is going to be super helpful for, some, analytics experts might say, hey, I'd rather just go to Power BI and, clone a report and build my visual or do analytics that way. And that's great for those power users. But for those users that just kind of want to come in, quickly get a summary, kind of understand what's going on, or, get a view that's a little bit more, differently defined than maybe the KPI homepage or something like that. This is going to be a way to do that. So I just want to kind of share this is what we're, working on next. And, if you're interested in, seeing more like this or kind of how I set it up, or like to even try it out with your own data, just let me know. And, we'll see you next time.